professional versus college. You coach both.
Yeah.
What is it like coaching college players versus coaching NBA players?
It's just different. The purity of the game, it's still basketball. You know, you got to take care of the ball, can't turn the ball over. You got to make shots. You got to be in great physical condition. You got to be able to play through adversity. The ball is still round. The goal is still 10 feet. You got to win on the road, win your share of home games. You know, in the NBA, you know, you're playing in 7-game series in the playoffs. In college, you're dealing with March Madness. But it's still basic basketball. You got to have players that are talented, that can play at a high level, that want to be coachable. But in the college, you have more that you have to deal with off the court. You got to deal with academics, compliance. You're more of a father figure to the players all year round. You have to deal with their parents and all of their guardians, you know, more often. You're recruiting, 365 days a year, basically, because you got to have new recruiting classes coming in. You're dealing more with administrators on campus. You're trying to support other sports on, other varsity sports, because I would have coaches from other teams that wanted me to meet with prospective student athletes. So whether it's the women's tennis program or soccer or women's basketball, so you got to support, other sports and go out and support their teams. So it's just different when you're in college compared to the NBA, where it's in the NBA, it's all basketball for the most part. And when the season is over, the season is over.
Right, right. Okay, so you've accomplished a lot coaching both ways, college and NBA. What was your journey like being an African-American coach in general?
Well, in general, it's not necessarily a different standard in terms of winning and losing. You just got to win.
Right.
You got to win. You got to, if you're trying to grow a fan base at Alabama and try to help them get to the tournament, which we did, and we got to the tournament in 2018, and we upset Virginia Tech in the first round and lost to the eventual champions Villanova in the second round, and Colin Sexton ended up getting drafted 9th overall by the Cleveland Cavaliers, and we graduated 100% of our student athletes and never had any issues in the community with any of our players. They represented the program well. Or with the Mavericks, we helped them get to the finals in 2006, and we didn't win it, but that was the first time in their organization's history that they made it to the finals. So it's all about winning. But at the same time, I also understand that there's some young African-American young man that's looking up to me that maybe want to aspire to be a coach, or some kid in minority community that just don't have a 2-parent household, or they maybe grew up in the projects like I grew up in the projects. And so I understand that I am a role model to a lot of different folks that look up to me, and that is a responsibility.
Right. Do you think there's any extra pressure on you because of that, or do you think it's just fair game?
No, I think a little bit of both. I think there's extra pressure, and I don't know if it's always a level playing field, but that's okay. We want to be in the game. We want to get on the field. But that's something that you just accept. You just try to do the best job you can do. You don't walk in front of your players and say, "Hi, this is Coach Avery, and do you know I'm black?" They already can see that. They just want to know, what can you help us achieve all of our dreams and goals individually and collectively as a team. And that's what all players want to do. And that's all, whether it's the owner or president of a university, they want to have the right culture and have the best product on the court as possible.
If a child or like a young kid was wanting to be in your shoes, what advice would you give them, like if they came from like a bad neighborhood, like if they were poor or they weren't able to go to a private school or a great college? What advice would you give them?
Well, a couple of things. One, I would tell them to work on their character first, because your name can take you a lot more places than your ability. So, and it'll help you stay there. So, what I mean, your character, your honesty, your integrity, um, your hard work, your discipline, um, just your character, man. Everything that character has involved in it, um, that means a lot. And I would say that the second thing is, you got to be competitive. This world is about being competitive. You got to be in it to win it.
Right.
You're not trying to come in second place, and if you do, and when competitors, when they fail, they get back up. That's what competitors do. They move on to the next point, as the great Arthur Ashe used to say when he hit a tennis ball into the net or hit it out of bounds. His next point. It's all about competing. And the third thing I would say is, surround yourself with the right type of people.
Right.
So, make sure you're surrounding yourself with people that are assets and not liabilities.
Right.
Because it's not always about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Sometimes it's with the wrong people.
Wow. That's deep. That's really, really deep. Okay, so let's rewind a little bit, okay? Back to your career. What player in the NBA right now do you see a lot of yourself in?
Oh, definitely Chris Paul. Yeah,
That
yeah,
was
definitely Chris Paul. Just his leadership ability. Now, I could never shoot the three or wasn't as athletic. Chris Paul's kind of sneaky athletic, but I would say just his leadership ability, his high basketball IQ, the way he sees the floor, gets his teammates involved, his mid-range game. I was more of a mid-range shooter, but I would say definitely Chris Paul.
So I'm honestly impressed by what he's done in OKC in a short amount of time. How because nobody thought he was gonna do this. Like winning record, like just a great team, and how it shows how much of a leader he is and how much of a good facilitator that he is. These are my last two questions because I don't want to hold you up all day. Give me one of your favorite memories? It may be like an untold story, maybe funny. Like what would you give me one of your untold stories, I guess I would ask, that maybe a lot of people don't know about?
Wow. I would say my rookie year in the NBA, 1988. I was playing for the Seattle Supersonics at the time. We know they're the Oklahoma City Thunder now. We were playing a game in Houston. I'm joking around with my teammates in the locker room because I was a rookie. So I was joking around with my teammates. I had my jersey on backwards. I had my shorts on backwards, walking through the locker room, getting taped, probably eating a pregame snack and watching some film and just joking with my teammates. So it was time for our scouting meeting. I went in the restroom, turned my jersey around, came back out for the scouting meeting, we ran out to play the game, and the coach, Bernie Bickerstaff, he called my name to go in the game. I wasn't playing that much, but I went in the game, was running up and down the court. Bernie called the 20-second timeout. The entire team came around with a bunch of white towels and surrounded me, and they said, "Turn your shorts around. Your shorts are on backwards." So I forgot to turn my shorts around, change them around in the locker room before the game. So that was a pretty comical moment.
Oh my goodness. I wish I could have saw that.
Yeah. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. You weren't even born then.
I don't think I was.
No.
So since I wasn't born, I would love to know what it was like playing against Michael Jordan and Kobe. I was alive for Kobe. What about both of those? What was that like for you?
Well, it was basically like you're playing against the same guy, because Kobe replicated his game after Michael, and boy, that was the closest I've ever seen to Michael Jordan. It's
Wow.
Kobe Bryant. Just the competitive fire, the athleticism, the shot making ability. No real weaknesses or flaws in their game. They played on both ends of the floor. And man, they were just going to try to mentally and physically just beat you down. And it's just amazing the fan support that they got in your building when they came to play on the road. So it was just, man, you just basically playing against the same guy in a lot of ways. But obviously, Michael is the greatest of all time.
Right. What was the trash talk like? Have they ever, got like feisty with you on the court?
Oh yeah, all the time. If they, especially somebody, they would rise up and shoot over me, and they'll say too little, too small. Too little, too small. You better bring him. You better get some help. You better get some help. You better call for help.
That's dope.
Yeah, so it was always good. But those guys are two of the greatest to do it. Michael is the greatest. Kobe, God bless his soul. May he rest in peace. He was an incredible talent.
Wow. So what was your relationship with them like off the court?
Pretty cool. You would see Michael in the off season, maybe at golf tournaments. Kobe wasn't a golfer.
Right.
But whenever you ran into those guys off the court, they're always very respectful. We would always talk about, what happened in our games. Hey, in the second quarter, that was a nice move you put on me. And I'll say, yeah, you thought I could only go left, but I tricked you that time. And just always interested in family talk. But those guys were always, real genuine, cool guys whenever I would run into them off the court.
That's dope. That's really, really dope. So last question. If
All right.
you could send a motivational message to the world, what would it be?
Wow. If I can send a motivational message to the world, what would it be? Wow. Okay. I think my motivational message to the world would be, I know it's tough, but let's not go back to normal. Let's move forward to better.
Oh.
Because normal's not good enough.
Wow.
I think this COVID virus has exposed a lot of situations, whether it's health related, the rich and the poor, income inequality, the health disparity. It's exposed a lot. So I'm not looking forward to getting back to normal, because normal wasn't so normal. I'm looking forward to getting back to better.
That was amazing. That was really good.